Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast, right here on the Winner's Circle Sports Betting channel, brought to you by our sponsor, GamblersWorld.net, where you'll find 10 of the finest, actually 11 of the finest handicappers now, with the addition of Ricky Tran, which you guys should check out, fine young handicapper. Also, myself, Ross Benjamin, and Sean Higgs. And at that site, folks, what we do is we guarantee our picks, which simply means that if you don't win, you don't make a profit, we will credit your account back the exact amount of what you spent on that specific package or subscription plan. So it doesn't get much better than that. It's not a sign of weakness. It's just that, like we've been telling you right along, we don't win every day, and we would encourage you to invest more in the long term. And we know that if you have a tough time with us over a period of time, we all have our bad days. We all have our bad weeks in this industry, no matter how good we are. We're very confident in the fact that we're going to make you money over the long haul. So again, gamblersworld.net. Also, folks, don't forget to give us a like on this podcast today. It's just a small token of your appreciation for the time, work, and effort we put in. And it keeps the people over at Gamblers World and the Winner's Circle Sports Betting channel happy, and keeps these videos free. Everybody likes free, I know that. And also, folks, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is the Winner's Circle Sports Betting channel. Just click on that subscribe button. If you're on your PC, you're going to see a WC logo in the bottom right-hand corner of your page. Click on that. It serves the same purpose. And while you're at it, go into your YouTube settings and click on the alert notification bell for the Winner's Circle Sports Betting channel. And you'll be notified immediately upon any of our 5 podcasts going up here weekly. Sean, how are you, man?
Well, you just said sometimes we lose, and this is what happens when you bet on loser teams. Had the Nats yesterday, 6-3 winning in the top of the 10th and in the bottom of the 10th or extra innings. We lose 7-6. That goes from a 3-3 day to a 2-4 day. That's you take these dogs, but man, I like them. But you are kind of holding your nose on some of these teams, and you're taking teams with losing records, and that's why they have losing records, because they pull stunts like this. But
yeah.
Hey, what are we gonna do here? It's one day. I'll move on. Having a still good baseball season. I'm almost I think 2988 on the GamblesWorld.net webpage for the 2024 baseball season, and it's in full swing. That's all we got right now, at least for me. You know me. No
Yep.
CFL or WNBA. So
No, myself as well. So again, the old adage is don't ask bad teams to do good things for you, but that's fine and dandy maybe during football season and the later stages of the year. But when you come to Major League Baseball, there's 162 games, and even if a team loses 100 games, they win 62 of them, right?
Exactly.
And that team's going to be an underdog on most of the times you win with that team. So it's not like the Nationals are a horrible team, but they definitely
I like the Nats.
Yeah.
I said the other day, I said 12-1 to make the playoffs. I think it's worth a shot on them. I mean, you got a Central Division that's a bunch of 500 teams, and then you have the Mets, the Nats, the Padres, the Giants, Diamondbacks, all around a couple games over 500, couple under. Everybody's in the mix.
Yeah.
I think they got some
a
young
lot
talent.
of underachieving teams in that mix.
Yeah.
That you just named off. So we're going to talk about the Mets and the Yankees. That's going to be my game to talk about. Sean, you got a good one. The Baltimore Orioles and will be entertaining the Cleveland Guardians. It'll be Logan Allen on the mound for the Cleveland Guardians, and it'll be Cole Irvin. Talk about a former Washington Nat on the mound for the Baltimore Orioles. Right now, the Baltimore Orioles are a $1.45 home favorite, and the total is 9. By the way, that's minus 145, folks, showing my age with the $1.45. So what do you got, Cleveland, in terms of this game, Sean?
Yeah, listen, I know you'll be talking about the Yanks, and I'll be saying how I think Orioles are going to overtake them to win the division here. And with Irvin here for Baltimore, this is kind of like I'm going to say it's like a Louis Hill kind of situation, but it's one of those spots where I got a guy last year, 77 in the third innings. This year he's at 73 innings already. You see the runs the last few games, 5 runs, 4 runs, 3 runs allowed. And the hit standings too. 5 and 4 plus innings, 9 and 5 plus innings. The hits are over the innings. That's, we like our whips a little bit. I'm going to be looking at Cleveland here plus a 130 spot. I mean, besides the fact that I got a pitcher who may or may not be hitting a quasi wall midseason, which happens. Guys get the little tired arm. It is what it is, right? They're off season. They come in, they throw 15, 20 games, it gets a little tired. I have that. I have a Baltimore team that freshly off of getting swept from Houston, right? Which you figure they lose a game. They played the Yanks. They take 2 out of 3, maybe a flat spot. No, not just a flat spot. You get swept out of the building. You come home, lose, and now you're favored at this is a decent sized number, and the Orioles are good, but Cleveland red hot. I mean,
Yeah.
6 straight. Ross finally getting some hitting to go around Jose Ramirez and Logan Allen. Here's a guy. The numbers look ugly. Like you see a bigger ERA. You're like, oh man, do I want to back this guy? Well, 28 innings, 23 hits, just 9 runs his last few starts, 3-1-2. He did have a 7 in there, a 7, 3-1-2, 3-0-0. There's a 7 runs allowed at Colorado in like an inning and 2/3, which that's like an anomaly spot. I kind of wiped that off the board. Like, all right, guy's going to have a weird game. The other 6 games, I don't know, 7, 8 runs in 6 games.
Yeah,
You're going to give me a 130. I'm going to take Cleveland here. I'm not going to overthink things.
it's almost like the old
pitching well.
horse rating adage, Sean. When a horse is real good and has a bad outing, 7 races, he's won 6, and then the other one that he didn't win, he finished 7th out of a 10 horse field. It's called bouncing, and a lot of pitchers have bounced pitching at Coors Field, right? So, I mean, you know what I like about Cleveland the most is in years past, you always had to be careful with them because they were winning with pitching and they couldn't hit their way out of a paper bag. Yep. Now, as far as the power numbers go, like you just alluded to, Jose Ramirez putting up good power numbers, and the other guy, Naylor, in the middle of the lineup, and there's 2 brothers.
Yeah, I think Josh is the one with the 20 homers, I think.
Yeah, okay, and the other one can't hit his weight. He's a catcher.
Yeah.
Bo Naylor. So, but again, both of those guys, I believe, are tied for the home run lead. And then you got the guys, that Quan at the top of the lineup. The guy's a great hitter. You got guys that, he's only played 48 or 49 games, so I think doesn't even qualify yet to be listed in the league standings, but he's getting there. But at the end of the day, 390 in the majors after 47 games is pretty damn good, I would say.
I love it. 20 walks and just 16 strikeouts from the guy in 200 at-bats. Ridiculous.
Got a little bit of power, he's got speed, and he's an excellent defensive player. I think he was a Gold Glove winner last year. So, Cleveland's got a lot more than just what they've had in years past where they were so reliant on their pitching.
Finally.
And, so I don't know. I said early in the year I thought that it was going to be hard for them to sustain. But the more I watch this team and the more I see the balance within their batting order, actually, I think their pitching might be a weak point. Not so much the bullpen, but the starting rotation. So
it's getting to that time. Teams will be looking to add spots.
Yep.
And you automatically think, do we add hitting to Cleveland, right? Because the pitching's been good for so long. I mean, Clace, the reliever's excellent, and the pitching. Remember, these guys let guys walk out the door. I mean, going back to like Cliff Lee days and CC, they okay, we'll get rid of it. We got some young guy coming up to fill in. You look at the pitching staff, you're like, all right, Bibby's all right. McKenzie rounding into form. Logan Allen, another young guy. They have Gavin Williams, the youngster, I think, supposed to be coming back. So I don't know what they're going to do. For them, I think the offense is the key for them because the pitching.
Yeah.
I should say that because I think every team should go after pitching. You never know what some guy's arm's going to blow out. So, if they go get a pitcher, I'm not going to be upset. But, what do you got here? What do you got? I probably want a better.
You're right. The bullpen is top notch. It's a starting rotation that's really I would be concerned about.
Well, you got to roll Cookie Carrasco out there. You're thinking to yourself, "Oh my goodness!" Playoff time. Let's be honest. He's not going to be in there. He'll be come in for an inning in a blow out some kind of mop up situation. But I mean,
Tristan
Lively's
Mc,
been good.
Tristan McKenzie has not been good, Sean, over his last 4 starts. Especially, he's been extremely vulnerable to
Wild,
giving
yeah.
up the long ball. So if you look at his last 4 starts and how many home runs, I think he's given up like 7 or 8 home runs over
Yeah.
his last 4 starts. So that's a bit concerning. So we'll see. But at the end of the day, you can't continue to out hit and outscore people. I got to believe Cleveland at this point, comfortable lead right now in the AL Central, but I got to believe management there sees the deficiencies in the starting rotation. And if they could add 1 or 2 decent starting pitchers before the trade deadline, this is a team that's going to be a very tough out in the American League. And I
I
know
agree.
there's some stiff competition, but it is what it is. All right, so Sean likes the Cleveland. I almost said the Indians again. Cleveland Guardians on the money line plus 130 on the road against the Baltimore Orioles. All right, my game is the Yankees and the Mets in the inter-city rivalry. The game will take place at Citi Field tonight, 7:10 p.m. Eastern Time. Garrett Cole gets the second start of the season after coming off the DL and a few stints on rehab stints in the minors. And it'll be David Peterson for the New York Mets. And I'm not crazy about him, Sean, by the way. The
Yeah.
Yankees right now are minus 140. The total is 8.5. But I'm going to look at the first 5 innings in this game. And I'll get to exactly why in a minute. Peterson over his last 4 at home, a 6.86 ERA and a 1.68 WHIP. To me, that's a big red flag. Why? Because A, that's not very good. That's terrible form at home. And B, he's pitching in a pitcher's ballpark at Citi Field. So both teams coming off an off day. And I like looking at this stuff, Sean. The Mets this year are 0-6 at home this year following an off day. That's not very good. The Yankees, by the way, 6-1 in their last 7 following an off day. Garrett Cole now in the season debut, little bit of mixed review, I guess you could look at it as he went 4 innings, gave up just 2 earned runs, 3 hits, 1 walk. Not bad, but not dominant like we come to expect from Garrett Cole. But you got to give him a break. It's his first start in over a year. Now, he did have 3 minor league starts. I touched upon this last week. A couple at Double-A and 1 at Triple-A, and he was extremely good in all 3 of those starts. I look for him to improve in his second start here, Sean. I also look for his pitch count to go up because he was on a strict pitch count. That's the reason why he only lasted 4 innings. That had to do more with that than performance. And I think we're going to see them look to get 5 to 6 innings out of Cole tonight. The Yankees bullpen, Sean, over the last 10 games, they've just been absolutely brutal. The Mets bullpen, on the other hand, has been very good over the last 7 games. So I'm going to cut the bullpens out of the equation. And I'm going to take the Yankees here with the. I like the starting pitching edge we'll get in this matchup between Cole and Peterson. I'm going to go with the Yankees on the run line in the first 5 innings, minus a half a run at money line odds of plus 100 over the Mets.
I think that's a way to tackle this. Although I do sort of like the under as well here. I mean, Cole, as you mentioned, and anybody off of the injured list making a first start, I'm going to look to fade that guy, right? So him having a so-so outing, are you shocked? The guy could have been throwing a perfect game. He wasn't going more than 4 or 5 innings, Ross. So throw that out. Whether it was awesome or bad, he's going to get better as he throws innings. And yeah, the Yanks bullpen attributing to their 3-7 slide of late. The Mets have been hot, but how much is that towards to the Grimace milkshake foreign substances on pitchers' hands out there? I mean, what is that about? What is that about? Oh my goodness!
The other thing
Unbelievable.
too, Sean, that concerns me when it comes to you said you like the under.
I do like the under.
It concerns me because of the Yankees bullpen, number one. You look at the Mets, how they've been hitting of late. They're hitting over 300 as a team and averaging over 7 runs per game over their last 7. Not so much. I get that I'm basing a lot of my pick in the first 5 innings on Cole, but my concern is because Cole's on a pitch count, he's probably going to not go more than 5 innings, possibly into the 6th. you're going to have to rely on the Yankees bullpen against an extremely hot offensive team. And then the other part of the equation, I think David Peterson is a pig, and I don't mean that literally, but he's stunk.
Yep.
Pigs stink, and he's stunk in his last 4 home starts. So, yeah, I'll have to respectfully disagree with you. I let's put it this way: I don't have a feel on the total. Let's just say that I will respectfully disagree from the standpoint that because of the factors I just mentioned, that would worry me going under the total in this game. So,
No, I listen. Peterson's not a great lefty, but it doesn't make a difference. Yanks struggle versus lefties as it is, like a
yeah,
230 average.
no, there's no
And,
doubt.
so I think Cole will come in here and be a kind of Cole, right? First 5, why not, right? Why shouldn't this game be 3-0 in the 5th or 6th inning? So
Yeah.
I look at it as I don't know how the Mets again. Are they the little brothers to the Yankees right now? Probably, right? They're Yanks are first place. We have Judge, we have Soto, and now you have
Well, they're definitely the hotter team right now, Sean.
yeah. But you have the whole now Diaz suspension over. How the Mets respond to that. It's just one of those weird things. Not that they'll come out and be flat. Obviously, versus Yankees, you're not going to be flat versus Yankees. It'll be like them playing the Phillies and thinking they're going to come in a bad game. But I agree wholeheartedly with the Yanks first 5 with you there. I kind of like it. I wasn't thinking about that. I think I'm going to grab that myself. I mean, even money, you got the clear edge in the pitcher right here.
Yeah.
The question is, if can Judge and Soto do something and get a run on the board for us here?
Yeah, they're going to have to do. Somebody else is going to have to contribute. Stanton out of the lineup again for a extended period of time. So
why are we shocked here? The guy's on the injured list every year.
Yeah, there's always something with him, and it's unfortunate because he actually was starting to come on and having a decent year.
And that,
to this point.
I said, Ross, the Yanks were a team I didn't like the Yanks, right? Because it was Judge and Soto, and then what are we going to get? Is Volpe going to take the next step forward? You had Rizzo, LeMahieu hasn't been good, and Stanton's a guy who's only going to play half a season. And even Judge in his years, he plays 1 year, he's out of here. I mean, but you saw the potential between Soto, Judge, and a healthy Stanton. You're like, wow, this team is, and this is coming from a guy who I like the Yanks, but I gotta put some blinders on a little bit because I can't.
Yeah,
because you see what happens here. Here comes the bullpen falling apart. Here comes Stanton. Wow, I'm shocked the guy goes in an injured list. Wow, I'm shocked that we lose Rizzo, who was on going downhill anyway, and we bring in a guy DFA'd by the Athletics to play first base here. No, we don't go cheap and try to trade for Josh Bell, kind of like another old guy to plug and play. No, we go for a DFA'd Oakland Athletic guy. That's where we go. We don't call the White Sox and say, give me Vaughn and Kopech out of the bullpen, and we'll trade you some prospect. No. We're gonna just play here in the bargain bin section of the dollar.
Well, I don't blame them in respect, and I get what you're saying, Sean. It's a valid point, but I think it lends itself more to the fact that they like their guys they got in the minors right now that are on their way up, and might be a year or two away. And this is a Band-Aid, until they're ready.
I'm all for that, but are you trying to win the World Series this year? I think the league is pretty wide open.
Yeah,
for them to win. The AL, I mean, listen, I think the Orioles are really good. They're missing a couple pitchers, but they got a farm system a lot deeper than the Yankees where they can go out and get Gausman or whoever. They can go get any pitcher they want. They have the depth to go get them. Why wouldn't you try to win now? This is the Yankees, Russ. This is a team that goes for World Series. Not like let's build for the future. That's fine to build for the future. Soto's walking out the door in November. He's going to the Mets.
I think again, in their defense, I think they feel like they have a good enough starting rotation to win a World Series. I think where the problem lies is of the few holes they have in a lineup, especially now that you take Stanton out of that middle of the lineup, right? Soto and Judge are having terrific years. Volpe is, he might be on and off lately, but he's certainly having a great year compared to what we saw last year. A definite improvement.
Yeah.
The other spots in the lineup is, LeMahieu. They were depending on him when he came back, and he looks like he's on the downside, if not at the end of his career.
That guy looked like a Hall of Famer. coming over
Yeah.
from Colorado. Even in his first year here, you're like, wow, I'm going to get a guy with 200
Well, he
hits.
won a
He's gonna,
batting title with the Yankees, I
yeah,
think in his first year, right?
yeah.
So, it's everybody. Age is a funny thing, and that brings me to this. You people out there, again, I saw it on with the podcast that Sean hosted yesterday, where you were joking about the three guys on the podcast being 180 years old, and I'm not going to single out the guy who said it. He knows who he is. Okay.
I was
So
going to write that out of the 180 years old. I said like I'm the youngest. I just saw it this morning,
yeah.
and I was going to be like, well, I'm only 7, so I don't know how old the other 2 guys are.
And you saw my responses, right? I mean, you're not betting on these guys to win a 40-yard dash. You're betting on them to win in sports betting,
We
okay?
went 2-1 yesterday, by the way.
Yeah, and not for nothing, age means squat. Unless you have Alzheimer's, which I don't mean to be insensitive toward anybody who's going, any family that's going through a loved one that has that, but short of Alzheimer's, if your mind is sharp and continues to be, people get better in this industry. They don't get worse. Okay.
I get
So,
sometimers sometimes. I forget things. I think I have like more sometimers than the old timers.
well, I'm with you there. Yeah. And sometimes the sometimers sometime have selected memories. And I like to do that myself. Chip's good at that. I call Chip Colombo. Chip's got 2 master's degrees, but when it's convenient that he work, he'll tell you he doesn't know how to do it. So other than that, we're all sound on this channel. Well, let's put it this way. Our minds are working very capably. I don't want to say we're sound of mind because we're all crazy. We're in the sports betting industry, right? So, Sean, tell the folks a little bit about what you got going on, possibly this week, today. And you mentioned that you were on a nice Major League Baseball roll, and I saw that of late.
Yeah, MLB, again, it's I got a lot of MLB for the season. We have almost 400 games bet. I got 3-pack up there today at Gamblers World. You can go get that one. Again, I had a 2-4 yesterday. Could easily have been a 3-3 winning day, but it is. Listen, there's going to be a lot of games when I throw them up, 3-packs, 5-packs, stuff like that. But it's nothing crazy. You got to watch the bankroll a little bit. You can't come in and be like, we're just unloading on a bunch of underdogs or run lines, stuff like that. So the bankroll manager will be a little different. But what did I say? We're winning more than we're losing in baseball. Don't be upset by a 51% win percentage when we have average odds of plus 105, 106. That works itself out to plus money. So 3-pack is up. Go get it.
Yeah, again, Sean Higgs, he's a volume guy, folks. So you have to exercise very good money management. So know that going in. But again, baseball is a different animal because of the money line betting and win percentage. We always want to have a high win percentage, but at the end of the day, your ROI or return on investment is the most important thing. And there's a reason why the majority of major sites in sports betting industry right now list the leaderboards by money earned rather than win percentage. And we're no different. And Sean just touched upon exactly why, especially in Major League Baseball, the NHL, money line plays come into play a lot. Anybody can give you a 170 or 180. You don't need us for that. It's my opinion. I don't want to cut anybody down who does that in our industry because we have a guy or two that does it on our site. But me and Sean are not proponents of that. Not to say that other people are wrong, but at the end of the day, it's about ROI. So, there you have it.
Ross,
Yeah.
I'm a bettor at heart, which is why I have a lot of games, and I'll spread it around. But they're also at plus odds. They're not.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I wanted a game or 2 a week, 230, I could do that because I can go 1-0. I'm
Yeah.
not looking. I like the action.
Yeah. Like guys like me and Jesse, even Chip, Doug Upstone over at Doc Sports, we're not volume guys. So we have a mix of everything at the site. I'm a modest 5-3 in Major League Baseball over the last 5 days. And this is the time last year where I started to go on a tremendous baseball run. And keep an eye on my selections. I'll have at least 3 up tonight. I have 1 up as we speak. And you want to keep an eye on my Major League Baseball as well. And don't forget, folks, 3 day, 7 day 30-day subscription plans, all very affordable, and we guarantee each and every one of them. That's for all of us. And a couple other guys that are red hot right now. Askeim Sports right now, 8-1 over the last 7 days, 32-13 over the last 30 days. Kyle Hunter is on one of his epic rolls that he's been known to go on, 32-13 over the last 60 days. There you have it. I mean, 45 picks in 60 days. He is not a volume handicapper. He's been selective, and he's been very good at doing so. He's number 1 overall since the site's inception. Askeim number 2 since the site's inception in terms of money earned. Sean's done very well over the last 60 days with his Major League Baseball selections. You could check the leaderboard over at Gamblers World by going to the homepage at gamblersworld.net. You'll see a leaderboard, and you can click on any individual sport, and it'll let you know how that particular individual is doing over the last 7, 30, and 60 days. So check that out. And again, we guarantee all our selections that if you don't win, you don't make a profit, we will credit your account back the exact amount of your purchase price. Sean will be back tomorrow hosting the show with Jesse and...
Supposed to be Matt Fargo.
Matt Fargo makes his debut.
Making his debut.
You know, hey, you know what? People would tell me all the time when they saw me out, you're definitely the best handicapper in all of Rochester, New York. And I hesitate to say that because Matt's from Rochester, New York. Watch out. You know, Matt's a personality. Now, you know, here's the thing with Matt. He hasn't done a lot in terms of doing these sports betting videos over the years. But I saw him on some of his personal videos, Sean, during the pandemic. And he's hilarious. You know, and he's a great handicapper. So look forward to having Sean on the show. Check that out, folks. Tomorrow, Sean, Jesse, and Matt Fargo.
Yeah, I've been on some sites with him over the years, you know, but again, I don't know him personally. So
yeah, and Jeff Askeim is going to start joining the show in the upcoming weeks as well. And I just told you how well he's doing of late. So a lot of good stuff, a lot of new characters, and looking forward to a lot of great shows coming ahead. Until the next time, don't forget to give us a like. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until tomorrow, take care and God bless, folks.